Hi guys, today's vlog number 3. Welcome, I'm Bobby G. I'm going to discuss a little bit is lighting, so stay tuned, let's talk. Alright, let's go over some of the things that I actually accomplished from the last vlog. It was a light duty day that actually turned into an almost no duty day. So anyways, there's been a day in between, so I did get a few things accomplished that I tried, or that I wanted to do. I did want to label my tanks a little bit neater, and you'll see that I did do that. My albino UCCIs, albino German reds, my regular UCCIs, snowflake friar eyes. By the way, that one female is still holding, so that's awesome. I don't think she's got a huge mouthful, but let me see if that's actually her right there. Easiest way to tell is when you feed them. I mean, if she doesn't have a huge mouthful, if you feed them and the female's not eating, that's often because they're holding eggs. Anyways, I'm going to leave her. I might strip her today or tomorrow. Anyways, back to the labeling. There's some petricolas in there. My Kobu peacock breeding group. Turkis, Lithabate, albino red empress, another petricola, some female lithabates, and I actually don't remember what those are offhand, but anyways, that's not important. Copetochromis truravase, lacoma, Placidochromis jalo reef. Down here we've got the Copetochromis aziris mabenji island. They're starting to come out a bit more because I've changed something in the lighting. And this is my, I don't know, it's kind of my display tank downstairs. It's sort of an overflow tank. It does house my my male, oh that's not him, that's him, my male breeder lithabate. And yes, you're right, they're hungry right now. That's why they're all excited to see me. There's a male breeder Eureka Red. Anyway, oh, and the other thing I did, there was a tumbler in here holding Turkis eggs. They had to come out because there was no egg sac or yolk sac left for them to feed on. So you need to get feeding them right away. We'll walk over and see if I can show you these little guys. That's them there. They seem to be doing fine. I fed them yesterday. I'm going to feed them obviously this morning. I try to feed my little fry minimum twice a day. And yeah, let's hope for the best for these guys. What's over in here? My first group of Kobu peacocks, which had some unfortunate events that limited the numbers, but anyways, I think there's 5 in there. And these are my super red marble convex cichlids. There's a few in here, and there's more in here. These guys are nasty to each other, so I'm working with them. They actually like to kill each other, so not so much fun. Anyway, let's now that we've gone over that, let's just talk about the lighting a little bit in here. I need your help. That's why I'm talking about it. So, I've got various lights on these aquariums, and that's, in large part because I haven't decided exactly what I want to do for lighting. I do want it all to be uniform, and I need it to be, reasonable in cost, and also reasonable in cost to run them. So, upstairs on my display tank, I run I run fluorescent lights, T5s and T8s, and to me that's the perfect bulb. But down here, I don't have the money to put T5s on all these tanks. The bulbs are expensive, and so I want to run it with LEDs, I think. So I can show you some of the bulbs that are on here. A lot of them that I had hanging around, they are actually like fish kind of bulbs. This one here, sorry if that's too bright, is an all glass aquarium bulb, it's called, and it has a color spectrum that's a little bit on the violet side, which is, I think, ideal, is what you're looking for. That's just a simple small LED that's kind of sharing on both tanks there, because I don't have enough lights for all the tanks yet. And there's another fluorescent fixture. Actually not sure what those bulbs are, but again, it's a little bit of a violet spectrum. You can see the one bulb in the rear there. It's more for a reef aquarium. It's an actinic bulb, which is a blue spectrum, and if I take that bulb out, the whole fixture doesn't work, and I don't want that actinic bulb shining much light, so I've actually put a piece of electrical tape along the bulb. Anyways, these guys are coming along really nice. They're my Yellow Blaze Butterpharynx lithobates. They're line bred. Anyways, back to the lighting. This tank happens to have kind of unknown. The writing is off the bulb, so I don't know what it is. But again, it's a bit of a violet spectrum, which helps I think, bring out the natural colors in the fish. This one up here, I'm not sure what it is. Oh, you can see it's just one of the, I don't know if they come on the Hagen tanks or what they come with, but they're not bad. They're not bad. They're cheap, so they're not a bad bulb. Up here, we've got another. It's a little hard for me to reach, but another fluorescent fixture. It looks like an Aquarium. Again, it's got a little bit of the violet spectrum to it, so it's a nice looking bulb to show off the true colors of the fish. Up here, I've got that's a Glow Life glow bulb. I'm not even sure what that is. It doesn't sound like it's made for the fish hobby. It might be made for a glow light for plants or something. And then up here, another all glass aquarium bulb, which was down on the fish, or on the tank with the angelfish in it. So again, that's not a bad bulb, but again, I don't want to run fluorescents in the room. The only reason I am running them is because that's what I happen to have handy. I don't think, like, none of those bulbs that are running right now, or fixtures, are ones that I bought new. They're all stuff that I've bought used from Kijiji, and they came with either a single aquarium that I've purchased or groups of aquariums that I've bought. So I'm making use of them. The lights that I think I like best are a light that I came by actually by a good friend of mine, Dario. I'll put a link down to his YouTube channel. He doesn't do a whole lot of YouTube, but I'll put a link down in his YouTube channel just to make sure he gets proper credit for these lights. I don't think, none of us are really rocket scientists, and we didn't develop any of this stuff, but he's come upon some LEDs that work nicely, and these ones you can change the color of them a lot. But again, if I turn that down a little bit, I think you might be able to see it does have a violet spectrum to it on the color setting that I've chosen for it. The only problem with these lights. And I mean, the other challenge for me is I want the room to look nice. I want the tanks to look nice, but they also have to be bright enough for me to take video. And that's been a big challenge. I had to actually go through a few cameras before I found one that actually works well on low lighting. And the camera that I'm using is a Sony RX 100V, which is the 5th version of it. There's a 6 out now, but anyways, this one's doing well. They're not a cheap camera. I'm always I'm learning with it too. I'm trying to learn what the best settings would be for it. But anyways, interesting, back to the LEDs. This is one that I made myself, again following Dario's recommendations. And the only difference between this one and Dario's is that this one has waterproof LEDs, which aren't super important to me because I'm running glass lids anyways. But I think you can tell there's quite a difference. They're both RGB lights. There's quite a difference between that tank and this tank in the brightness. They have the same color spectrum, I think, but the brightness is quite a bit lower. And Dario did kind of warn me of this, but I thought I would try them just to test for myself. And sure enough, I won't be running those. So I think these are the ones that I like. You tell me what you think in the comments. That would help me out. But one thing that's really interesting, and I'm going to put a card up to this spot or to the video I'm referring to in my Let's Build a Fish Room video. I showed after the racks were installed, and I showed that I painted all the shelves white. And here's the difference that makes. Now keep in mind that these 3 tanks all have the same light on them. They're all set at the same color spectrum. Now this one is fairly nice and bright. This one, again, fairly nice and bright. This one, not so much. Fish still look good, but it's not as bright. I would have to, change the settings on my camera to compensate for it. So the difference in these 3 tanks is this tank was one of the first tanks I had in the little fish room, and my idea back then was to paint the back black and the bottom black. And so that's the difference. These 2 tanks are not painted on the bottom, and therefore that white shelf that where they sit on, which my hope was when I did the fish room, was that some of the light would bounce back up off that white shelf, and in fact that's what's happening here. Now I'm not sure which the fish like better. I think, I don't think they're adversely affected by having this extra light, or the fact that when they look down, they see white. And I could maybe show that to you. Let's see if I open the glass up here a little bit and hang on to my camera so it doesn't fall in. But you can see, looking through, you can see the white. Now of course back here you can't see it. But I don't know if I'll be able to show you this one either. I don't know if my camera will fit in there. But if you look down on this one, obviously it's black. Okay. So that was pleasing for me to find out that my efforts actually did pay off on that respect. But I do want to know what your thoughts are on the lighting, and if you have any other ideas, if you've experimented with this at all yourself. Yeah. So I appreciate your help. Hopefully I get some comments on this. I've got lots of upcoming videos. There's so many things that I can cover that I think will be of interest to you. Soon in one of my vlogs, I'm going to show you what I've come up with for draining my tanks during water changes. I'm excited about it, and I think that you will be too. So again, thanks so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed the video, please share it. That's important, sharing it, because then I can reach more people and help more people out, which is my goal. And of course, subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. So feed your passion, take the plunge.